You've been listening to the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, speaking about, again, the shooting involving the ICE agent yesterday that killed a 37-year-old woman, calling on ICE agents and echoing the calls as well as Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey for ICE agents to leave the city, to stay out of the schools. There's video of an incident at a school in Minneapolis from yesterday, too, and calling, if he had a chance to talk to Donald Trump, which apparently he has not yet, would say that the assault of Minnesotans is exhausting and to, quote, leave our people alone. So that is the latest. And also, again, the big point of this and the point that he is making as well is that Minnesota and state officials have now been left out of the investigation. They were initially involved to collaborate and they were invited in. But now today, the development is that they will not be part of that investigation. I want to bring in now Madeline Lohman, Advocacy and Outreach Director at the Advocates for Human Rights in Minneapolis. I have to ask you, we're kind of up against the clock here at the top of the hour, but give me a sense of what the community is feeling here more than 24 hours after this shooting yesterday and what's happening there.
I mean, I think there's just a ton of outrage, and the removal of Minnesota law enforcement agencies from the investigation is only going to increase that. This is something where, international standards would say that there needs to be a thorough and impartial investigation of any killing by a government agent, and here we're seeing that that's not going to happen. So there's just a lot of anger around the lack of accountability for what happened.
And Madeline, I have to ask you too, that it was 5 years ago that it was George Floyd who was killed, near this site that the shooting happened yesterday. A mile for you, 1.6 kilometers for those here in Canada. When you have this and the unrest that has happened is what we saw as a result of that, and now this, it just feels like the residents of Minneapolis and of Minnesota have been through a ton and are now here up against it again. What are you hearing from those residents too?
I mean, people are saying we've been here, we know how to fight this, we know how to stand together as a community, and we also know what went wrong last time. Last time there were people who came to protests without good intentions, possibly to cause problems, to provoke a reaction, and we're aware of that now. There's a lot of organization happening around these protests to try to make sure that people going to them are safe, and that even if agents escalate with things like chemical irritants, as you can see here, that people have ability to take care of each other about that. And so I think we're trying to learn from what happened before. We're trying to stay strong and stick together as a community.
And are there plans for more demonstrations?
There are plans for more vigils and demonstrations and protests and public events. There's one this evening that is going to be speeches from various organizations for the community, some training on how people should be responding to this moment. And then I know there's been a number of ones organized around the city, groups that are doing family-friendly ones, given what's been happening in the schools, a chance for children to come out and really show how they feel about this moment in a way that will be safe for them. So there's really a very strong outpouring of community feeling about this, that all groups are sort of coming together.
Madeline Lohman, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me.